joyous night. Just relax your mind. To all of my family and friends, I want you to remember this line. Merry Christmas to all of you.
Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1 studio.
Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show. And I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. And I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. I'm not here to save your soul. I'm here to save your business, save your job, and I'm trying to save our community in the process. I'd like to welcome you to the show. I'm Robert Gatewood. I am a business developer by trade. I have a company called Gatewood Marketing and Web. I'm also a professor at Prince George's Community College in the DC area where I teach marketing. I teach strategy. I teach branding. I teach public relations. I teach communications. I also teach digital marketing program and a few other courses over there. I've written a couple of books, and I'm also in the government space. And I'm just glad to be here on this Friday, bringing you another show of the Marketing Pulpit. This will probably be of course, it'll be our last show before the Christmas holiday, but there are other holidays during this period. We have Kwanzaa and Hanukkah and a few other holidays. So we want to tell everybody to be safe and joyous this time of year, but we want to go into this season with to be grounded, compassionate, and reflective, because let's not go into this season being showy, because everybody's not. It's been a tough year for some people. I'm just going to tell you, and everybody's year is not going to end well. So let's kind of be mindful of other people. Some people are carrying silent losses, and those losses are compounded this time of year. So we want to, sometimes people look like they're having joy, but they're experiencing pain. So we want to go into this time of year being compassionate and kind, and understand that not everybody is going to have a necessary happy holiday. So let's not show off and rub it in their faces. Got a great show lined up today. We're going to talk about how technology might kill your business, but we also have a very special guest today, Mr. Willie, Dr. Willie Jolley. He's going to be joining us. He has a brand new book called Rich is Good, but Wealthy is Better. I like the sound of that, as a matter of fact. I have to get out my notes today. See if I can get some of this wealth to rub off on me. As a matter of fact, what we're going to do, I want to talk to you quickly about my topic today about technology. That's a space where I've hung my hat since my early days at Livingstone College and been certified in social media and now being certified in AI. Just want to talk about technology and how technology or lack thereof could be the undoing of your business. Now, why do I say this? I keep saying this. I've been beating this drum now, trying to get people to listen to it, but it's getting to that point now where it's not just discussion anymore. Because the hard truth is that technology is not just something to have, it's nice to have anymore. The absence of technology or your lack of, or your inability to embrace it could be a business killer, because you may be moving slower than your customers. Some of your customers, they're out there, they're ready to get it going. You up here doing things the old-fashioned way, delivering products in 2 months that we know now can be delivered in some cases 2 minutes. If you're not keeping up, your customers are going to be finding the exit door. Also, your costs are going to kill you. Your costs are going to do you in if you're not embracing this technology. You're charging more, therefore you're not competitive in the marketplace. Also, you can't scale your business without burning yourself out if you're not using technology. Also, you don't get the KPIs and the data that's necessary nowadays to know if you're doing things the right way. You're going to miss out on revenue opportunities by your inability to cross-sell, upsell, get referrals. And you won't be able to compete in this AI-enabled economy. I'm just telling you this as we get to the end of this year. You have to change your mindset about technology. I talked to some people that say, oh, look, I don't believe that technology stuff is going to be the end of us. Well, it's going to be the end of us if you don't embrace it or at least understand it. Also, security. You're opening yourself up to security risk if you don't understand how technology works. You're going to be vulnerable to hacks, breaches, data loss. And finally, you're going to be reactive instead of strategic. So that's my sermon going into 2026 this year. You don't have to drop what you're doing. You're still going to be the same erudite, smart, strategic person. Look at technology as a tool. It's a means to an end, not an end itself. So do this at the end of this year. Do an audit of your technology. What's outdated, what you're not using, what's missing. Some of these repetitive tasks, you need to automate them. Scheduling, CRM, customer support. Invest in training. If you don't know it, you don't have to go back to college for 4 years. There are courses out here, get you some certifications, send your staff back to get this training. Think about systems. And you need to embrace AI when it makes sense. I mean, AI just scares some people to death. Just like social media scares some people to death, the internet scared people to death. We fear what we don't understand. Is that an excuse? No. Figure it out, learn it. All right, so let's go into 2026, being mindful. I had a story. I always have my McDonald's stories. You may think I have a stock in McDonald's. Well, I'll tell you about the story how I got on, took oatmeal and raisins and apples when I went to the McDonald's one day to get a big greasy breakfast burger, and they gave me the wrong bag. Well, that story I've told several times. And from that point forward, I never ate a greasy burger from breakfast from McDonald's again. Well, this morning I go there. I didn't bring my wallet this morning. So if anybody's thinking about robbing me today, okay, you're out of luck. I left my wallet at home. So I had my phone. I'm trying to figure out, talking about technology now. I'm fumbling around with my phone and saying, God, there's got to be a way to pay for this food without my wallet. So I found this. I went to my bank account and they put up a picture of my debit card. So I get to the window. I'm telling the lady, look, hey, I left my wallet today. I'm sweating. I'm profusely sweating. I'm having all these. And the lady said, she just waved me on through. She said, never mind, go ahead. I'm telling you folks, those small acts, those small gestures is what keeps people coming back. I embrace that in my business. I mean, I know McDonald's did it too, but I would have done the same thing. But just another little nugget I'm going to drop on you this morning. These little small gestures might cost you 50 cents here, $1 there, $25 here. Think about lifetime value. Your average customer is probably going to spend in excess of $1,000, $2,000 in some cases. In my case, my average customer spends about $5,000 a year. Giving them $100 pass, a $50 pass, is not going to hurt your business. You're investing in your customer. So that's my final tip, Dave. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to bring on Mr. Dr. Willie Jolley. And I'm really looking forward to this. So don't go anywhere. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. I'm here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. So don't you go anywhere. Oh, shoot, man, I'm over here doing the running, man. Welcome back. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I am Robert Gatewood, your host, and I want to thank you again for tuning in today. Going into the end of the year, and I wanted to end this year on a bang. So the best way to do that was to call on one of my good friends and associates, Dr. Willie Jolley. Let me get him here. Let me get him up here on the stage. Dr. Jolley. Dr. Jolley. Let me get.
Can you hear me well? Can you hear me, my brother?
Man, I hear you like I've never heard anybody. Welcome to the show, brother Jolley. Hey, look, this has almost become a ritual.
Yes.
I look back. I look back through some of my past shows. I say just about every year or so, around the end of about this time of year, my good friend Dr. Willie Jolley has appeared on the show. I mean, we didn't plan it that way. Sometimes the stars just line up. That's just the way it happens.
That's the way it happens. And I'm honored to be able. Let me start by greeting everybody and saying how much I enjoy the social media clips of the Gatewood brothers performing. I just really, I dig what y'all are doing, man. I just really enjoy it.
Thank you, Willie. Well, you know, I know the 98.6. I remember when you guys got back together. It was an inspiration for us, really.
Wow.
You guys got back up about 40 years. You and Brad right. And brother and the other guy, Steve, and
yes,
the whole crew, because we connected on social media afterwards.
Right.
It's amazing. It's just one more example of how people sometimes they inspire silently. They're not even aware of the impact they're having just by their actions. So I want to say once again, hats off to you and your group 98.6 for sparking us to get back out there and do it.
Well, y'all are doing great, and thank you for that. Well, greetings to everybody. Everybody knows I start the same way. I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it, forced upon me, can't refuse it. I didn't seek it, I didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. So I will take the most and make the most of this minute, this moment, this opportunity, as I'm sharing with my friend Robert Gatewood about helping people to get financially free and to create more wealth in 2026. And we've got a new tool that's going to change people's lives.
Well, Willie, this is not the first time you've come up with a tool. Sometimes when I refer to you as the Mr. Setback or the setup for a comeback himself. I can't tell you how many times I've heard your quote repeated on movies, on stage, politicians. It has become a universal phrase. And so that you're coming out with this new tool is nothing new. It's just a continuation of your purpose of enabling people.
Amen. Thank you, my brother. That is what I found what I'm supposed to do. And I am grateful to stay in my lane just to inspire and empower and encourage people to live their best lives and help them to win more. in every aspect of their life, whether it's their family life, their marriages, their relationships, their businesses, and now in their finances. And so helping people win more. And that's why want people to go to winwithwillie.com to get some of the free resources we offer, because we just want to help you win.
Now, you did about a year ago, you did a one-man show also.
Yes.
And that was a successful event. I came out to that, and once again, I'm telling you, you gotta follow this guy.
Well, thank you.
Some people are chosen. It's their raison d'etre, their purpose, their reason for being, and you wonder why they have the success in their areas. Because I believe in this whole concept of self-actualization. Eventually, if we live long enough, we come to what we were put on this earth to do.
Yes.
And the sooner we get there, the better. But it's never too late.
That's exactly right.
So I, like you said, have discovered that your reason for being here is to empower people and to make them become their best selves. And that is never too late. And so I picked up that message. And so I'm not surprised that you would come out with this book at this time. But tell us about this book. I'm anxious.
Yes. I'm very excited about this. So many people know I'm on Sirius XM and have been for many years. Well, this is my 20th season on Sirius XM thank you, with the Willie Jolley Wealthy Way show. About 5 years ago, Robert, a light bulb went above my head as I was finishing an interview with a billionaire. And I realized, wow, I don't know the difference, obviously, between being rich and being wealthy. Now, I'm an educated man. I have a earned doctorate, but I didn't know the difference between being rich and being wealthy. And then I started saying, let me do more research. And I realized that there's a distinct difference between being rich and being wealthy. And I finally figured it out, finally got it. And then I started calling some of these wealthy billionaires. I said, am I right about this? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, why didn't you tell me? You know what? We were too busy creating wealth. You've got the platform. You've got the radio shows. You've got the book opportunities. Write a book about it. And they encouraged me to write a book about what I learned. And I did. And the book is entitled Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. And it's going to be, I expect it to be one of the biggest books in 2026 globally. We know, as you mentioned, a setback set up for a comeback. This new book has the greatest pre-sales of any book I've ever done, even more than a setback and set up for a comeback. Oh. People are buying this book. But of course, let me tell you why. Please. There are two groups that this book focuses on. The first group are all the people who want to be wealthy, but don't quite know how to get there.
Right.
So it gives them a primer on, here's the lessons I've learned from the wealthy on how they became wealthy and the lessons about money and how money works. So that's first. The first group is people who want to be wealthy and don't know how to get there. But the second group is where we're getting so many people who are buying 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 copies at a time. All the people who have worked hard all their lives, scraped, saved, sacrificed, scrimped to create a nest egg, and they have a great fear that their children are not going to maintain it, but going to squander it. Or as one man said, my greatest fear is that my children will go through in months what it took me decades to do. He said, they're not going to go through my money. I need this book, and I'm making this mandatory reading for anybody put in my will. You must read this new book by Dr. Jolley. Wow.
Wow. Well, let me ask you, you talked about the different people who might benefit. Now,
yes.
Let's say in your base, many folks that follow you.
Yes.
Is there like a prototype that you might say, this book is for you?
Yeah, because you know what? You're absolutely right. Yes. This book is not for people who are, per se, who are already wealthy. It's not for them. If you're wealthy, you don't need this book because it's a entry level to how money works. You got this. Now, here's what I will say. Many wealthy people are buying it in mass numbers because they are concerned. As one lady said, I got one child, and I found often parents who have more than one child who's good with money. And almost every parent I've met who has more than one child has one child who's not good with money. And they said, I've got to protect that child from squandering their wealth. Because, see, one generation's ceiling, Robert, should be the next generation's floor. But we don't see that often. Here's what we see in our community and in the world. People leave their children an inheritance, usually a house and some money, some cash and a house. What they do is they go through the cash. It evaporates. They just go through it. And then they fight over the house. And then one will say, I want my part, sell the house. And they have to sell the house. And then the money's gone. All the work that grandma or Big Mama did is gone. And now you're starting again at ground zero. So the answer to your question is the people who are my audience for this book are not the wealthy per se, unless they got children who need to be educated, or, you know, as some parents say, my children cannot hear from me. Okay. I tell you the truth. Excuse me, I have two children. One of them, if I say jump, he says how high. The other one, though, I say go left, she go right. I say go right, she go left. Whatever I say, she go the opposite. And for years, she had a bad attitude. Now, I'm a motivational attitude coach, but she had a bad attitude. I was sharing it with one of my buddies, Keith Harrell, who wrote the book Attitude is Everything. He said, give me a number. He talked to her for 20 minutes. Her attitude shifted. And it's called the stranger from afar phenomenon. That somebody who not you could say the exact same thing to you, but is not you, and your children accept it. That's what this book would do for those parents whose children can't hear it from them. So people first who want to be wealthy and are working hard, Robert. Oh my God, they grinding it out. They working long hours and they getting rich. But they have not discovered the difference between rich and wealthy. They don't know what it is. So they think getting rich is getting wealthy. I was in Cleveland last weekend speaking. Okay. And I was at a restaurant. And my host is a big publisher, a magazine publisher. And one of the Cleveland Brown football players walked by. He said, "Hey, David, how are you?" And the young man comes over to the table and excuse me. And the publisher says, "This is Dr. Jolley. He helps people become wealthy." The young man in his early 20s had a mink coat on, an entourage. He said, "I'm already wealthy. And I guess I could learn more, but I'm wealthy already." And I greeted him. I gave him my card. We chatted for a moment. And he walked off with his crew. And I said to the publishers, I said, you know what? He thinks he's wealthy because he got a big contract to play football. But he's probably rich. But he don't know the difference between rich and wealthy. I tell you, wealthy. The owner's wealthy. The football player is probably rich, but the owner's wealthy. And if he doesn't focus or learn the difference between rich and wealthy, he'll be like 70% of professional athletes 5 years after they retire. Broke. So we want to teach people the difference between rich and wealthy. Second, we want to help people really learn real generational wealth. Because what we do is we see people open a barbershop, a beauty shop, a restaurant, and they say, I'm making money now and I'm working on my generational wealth. Not really. What you're working on is getting wealthy. Getting rich. But unless that money can stretch to 5 generations, then it's not really generational wealth. Most of it never gets to the 3rd generation. So and teaching people how to do that, that's a big deal. Teaching people how to create real generational wealth, like the guy I interviewed on my XM show, who's the president of the Dale Carnegie Institute, who I interviewed, and I said, tell me your business model. He told me the business model. I said, whoa, that's a lot of money. That many franchises by that much money. where can I buy some stock? He said, you can. I said, why can't I buy the stock? He said, because it's a private company. I said, who owns the company? He said, the children, the family. I said, wow. How long have they owned it? 110 years.
Wow.
110 years. Dale Carnegie set this up. And for 110 years, that's 5 generations. Average time for a generation is 25 years. 25 years old, you expect to get married, have children, or whatever. So that almost 5 generations, they've had an income source that could pay their bills, that could buy a house and send their kids to college. Wow. That's what we want to teach people how to do. Rich and good, wealthy is better. It's a great, amazing.
I know this is a setup question, but I'm pretty sure that the book walks them through how to do that.
Yeah. The book gives this is a step-by-step. The way, and let me tell you, first of all, I tell people, this book didn't come from me. It came through me. I give God the glory for this book because the people he has opened up the door for me to meet, the people he's opened up the door for me to learn from. And then my job was just to share it. Okay. Just to share it. So it tells point by point, step by step, how to go from being just a money income earner to becoming wealthy. Now here's one of the big things, Robert. Everybody's not going to become rich.
That's right.
Just not. The Bible says that the poor will be with you always. Everybody's not going to become rich, but anybody can become wealthy if they know the secret. Anybody. There's a story in the book about Mary Ellen Pleasant. She was a domestic worker, cleaning people's homes, taking care of their children, and cooking their food. She never made more than $6,000 per year. But when she died, she had a net worth of $2.7 million because she understood the importance of living below your means and investing the margin. And that was a word I had never heard about until I started writing the book and interviewing people. Margin. What's margin? That's the difference between what you make and what you have to spend for your necessities. There's a margin there if you can learn to live below your means and take that margin and invest it. And she did it before. She did it, in the last century. But today you can invest in drips. You can take a portion. They call it fractional investing. Right. You say I wear Nike shoes. You can go to a site and you can buy $10 worth of Nike. $10. Right. Okay. I mean, it's amazing what you can do now. So anyway, that's an example. There are other examples. People who worked for a lady who was a secretary for lawyers who back in the 60s, when the lawyers, before there was internet, would tell her, call my broker and tell them, here's what I want you to buy, invest in, or here's what I want you to buy, my stocks. She said, well, why you tell me more? And over lunch, she would sit with them and learn. So she thought when she would put the order in for them, she put a little bit of her own money in there. When she retired, she had a net worth of $7 million. She never made more than $45,000 a year, but had a net worth. Or the gentleman from UPS who took full advantage of his 401k and his stock employee stock purchase, had in UPS. He bought stock in UPS at a discount. When he retired, he had net worth of $48 million.
You know what? I'm convinced a big portion of this is mindset. Reminds me, in one of the many hats that I wear, I'm also a franchise broker. So I remember a few years ago, this young man called me, and of course that's why you can't judge people also, because you don't know what's up here in their mind. This guy contacted me. He was a janitor. And so I'm saying to myself, your instincts start to say things like, well, okay, there's about to be a waste of time, and this guy just tire kicking. So he came to my office, and we sat down. We have to do like a net worth sheet. You take your assets and your liabilities and do a little spreadsheet. And he put a number down, and my eyes fell out of my head. It was like, wait a minute. You have how much money? I mean, this guy, you look at this guy on the street, you wouldn't, most people just, write him off as a bum or somebody you wouldn't pay attention to. This guy had like $2 million in the bank. We're not talking about that funny money. We're talking about real money that he could get his hands on almost right away. And also, as I noticed, I said, you have like an 800 credit score. That was an eye opener for me.
Yep.
How much of this is about mindset and how
mindset
and the right mind.
First, you got to have the right mindset. Wealth starts in the mind. Wealth starts. See, you can get rich on accident.
That's right.
You can get rich on that. You really can. You can get rich on accident. You can take a ball. You can play the lottery and get rich. Okay. Or you could take a basketball at the Wizards game and they say, "Look, this is a special, and if you hit this shot for half court, you get $1 million." And you close your eyes and you throw the ball up and it falls through the roof. Yeah, you got $1 million. You can get rich on accident, but wealth starts in your mind, and it's a discipline. So here's what next step: that if you're not disciplined, you'll never create wealth. If you spend all you got, you'll never create wealth. You must have discipline. And let me just say, for the record, one of the things I talk about in the book is that discipline starts with tithing. It starts with tithing. Now, that's not just a religious practice. It's a wealth building practice. Okay. Rockefeller said he learned to give a tenth when he had a salary of $1.50 a week. He said, if I hadn't given the 10th at $1.50, I would never been able to give and be a philanthropist when I had $150 million a week. Or how about John Templeton, who started Money Magazine? He said, the secret to my success, and many of the people I've interviewed over the years, is tithing. And then LL Cool J, he said, the secret to my success as an actor is I learned about the power of tithing. Now, what did that mean? Well, that means that you take a seed, you plant a seed. It's a mindset. It's a discipline. So that's first discipline. Second discipline, live below your means. You got to live below your means. You got to live and save money. You got to have some savings, but then you got to take some of that savings and invest it. And I give a formula in the book. This formula is my formula for how I've taught my children and how I live my life. I tithe a dime, I save a dime, I invest a dime of every dollar, and I learned to live on 70% of my income or less. And actually now I live on like less than 40%. The rest of it, I just invested. And so I'm saying to people, these lessons that nobody knew. Look, Robert, here was a challenge. And I don't know if it was for your family, but it was my family. My mama, my daddy, and my grandmother. I never met my grandfather because he died from prostate cancer before I was born. But my mama, my daddy, and my grandmother was an entrepreneur, had a beauty shop. My dad was an entrepreneur and a journalist, and my mom was a school teacher. Then here's what they told me: go to school, get you a good education, get you a good job, and save your money. Now, my dad said, you don't have to just get a job. You can be an entrepreneur. He encouraged me, but go to school, get a good education, get a job, and save your money. Right. No one ever said the word investment. Why? Because they came through the Depression. My mama was a teenager in the Great Depression. And so her father had lost all his life savings in the Depression. Or so he thought. If he had not sold when the market went down in 1929 and just held it, he would have become a millionaire in time. Okay, but most people didn't know that. Some jumped off of bridges, some blew out their brains, and the rest of them just sold their stocks when it became worthless, not knowing, just hold on. Anyway, I never heard about investing. And most people in our community that I've talked to said the same. Their parents never talked to them about investing. They said, go to school, get a good education, get you a job, and save your money. And so once I got a few dollars, I took a course in investing. I didn't know nothing about it. Just basic investing. And it changed my life. And so that's why I want to say this book is a manual on how you change your life. So I'm encouraging everybody to go to Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better.com. Rich is not on Amazon yet. It'll be there and somewhere in the new year. We're working through with Amazon now, but go to richisgood.wealthyisbetter.com. You get 2 books or more, and it's free shipping. So you can't beat this. This is a great change of life process, and it will change your life. It'll change your family. It'll change your future and change your legacy.
Amen. Well, I once again, I thank you. What's the old saying? If you want to be rich, do what the rich people do. If you want to be wealthy, do what the wealthy people do.
Yes.
And so you're setting a good example. I mean, so many stories that you've talked about today I can relate to, and definitely the one about how your parents, bless their hearts,
Yeah,
they did the best they could with what they knew.
that's right. That's
I
right.
don't fault them at all. And
Yep.
but one thing I give these our parents and our forefathers and foremothers is they didn't realize it, but they were planting something in us that maybe was greater than that knowledge of investment. They
Yes.
planted us the understanding faith
Yep.
and ethics and
Work
how to treat
ethic,
people.
Yeah, faith and work ethic. That's what they planted in me.
And so they left it to us to go out and figure out the rest.
That's
so I'll
right.
give them credit for that. And so
Yes.
it took me a little longer. I'm sure if I'd come out the womb with it, I probably would have moved along a little faster.
Yeah.
But one thing I've noticed, and that's where I go back to the mindset. I noticed that a lot of people that they do come out, they get the silver spoon in their mouth, and they burn out. They burn out, they either end up in jail or in some type of something befalls them. So I'm of this mindset that things happen when they're supposed to happen, because especially when you get along in the years, there's nothing we can do to go back and change the past.
Right.
So what we have to do is take what we have and build upon it.
Yeah.
The good thing that was passed on to us, like I say. And that's what I'm glad. Then we look to people like you to help us fill in the gaps. And that's what we're doing on this show.
So before we leave, I want to give one more thing. This the 5 money mindsets, because it's powerful. Okay. 5 money mindsets. And we in this land that we live in, we see 5 money mindsets. You have to decide, folks, where you sit in one of these mindsets. Number one, bottom line, or not one number one, but the lowest level mindset is the one-day mindset. We see a person with a cardboard box on a corner every day. You see them every day. Give me enough money to make it through the day. And they do it every day, every day. That's how they live their life. Next level up is a 30-day mindset. People who live month to month, whether they're on fixed income, whether they're on welfare, whatever, they live month to month. And if at the end of that month, they usually get more month than they have money, and then they're struggling. Then you got the 1-year mindset, where people create a lifestyle where they say, did I make more money this year than last year? Did I get a cost of living raise this year that I didn't get last year? They live year to year. The 4th one is what I call the decade to decade mindset. Sometimes that's called the rich mindset, where you see people who think decade to decade, athletes, entertainers. A baseball player would get a $10 million baseball contract to play 10 years in the major leagues, and he's balling for 10 years. He got 5 Mercedes, 4 Rolls Royces, three mansions, or 2 jets. I mean, he's balling, table service. But if he does not modify his income after those 10 years or when his contract is over, and his lifestyle, he's going to be broke, which is why we see 70% of professional athletes broke after 5 years. And then finally, you got the generation to generation to generation mindset. That's the wealthy mindset. The Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's great-grandchildren. That's what we want to help people. So my goal in the book, Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better, is to get each level to go up 1 level. That's all I want to get. If I can get him one, the guy with the 1 year, if he can go up to the 30-day, the 30-day can go up to the 1 year, the 1 year can go up to the 10-year, the 10-year can go up to the generational. Then I've done my job. And that's why I want to teach you how to do it. Go get copies of this book, folks. I believe it's going to be one of the biggest books in America, maybe in the world in 2026 and on. One gentleman read it and said, I think this is the sequel to Think and Grow Rich. This is the sequel. He said, Think and Grow Rich taught me how to get rich. This is going to teach me how to get wealthy.
I'm going to put something out here today. The name of the book is Rich is Good, Wealthy is Better. And it's richisgood and wealthyisbetter.com. I'm trying to think what I like to do as my contribution. I'm going to say the next 5 people that reach out to. How can people reach you?
They reach out to me at info@williejolly.com. info@WILLIEJOLLEY.com. info@williejolly.com.
So this is what I'm going to do. The first 3 people to reach out to this brother, get that information, and just mention Robert Gatewood. Marketing Pulpit Show.
Yep.
3 of his. I'm putting out 3 books. They're on the house.
All right.
Pulpit is contributing 3 books to the audience, but you got to contact him through his email address, info@williejolly.com. Just mention the Marketing Pulpit Show and Robert Gatewood, and Willie, get their information. Go ahead and reach back out to me, and I will make sure that they get that book sent to them, courtesy of the Marketing Pulpit.
Wow. That's why he's a winner, folks, because he understands time, seed, harvest, and he understands putting in order to get out. Put something in. You know, many people stand in front of the fireplace, say, give me heat. They put no fire and no wood in it. They put nothing in it. They say, give me heat. You continually and consistently put wood in the fireplace.
So I feel like I'm aligned with you and your book today.
Oh, you align more than you look. You align more than you can imagine. Because one more thing in the book, I talk about the 5 types of wealth, of which you have multiple. There's financial wealth, then there's health wealth, then there's relationship wealth, there's reputational wealth, and then there's intellectual capital wealth. You have many of those wealths in your repertoire. So yes, you are absolutely right, Robert Gatewood.
Well, thank you, sir. Well, Willie, once again, Dr. Willie Jolley, thank you again. Let's keep this tradition going. I hope,
yes, sir,
the next year to see you, but
we hopefully see each other and do this again. I'm expecting that the book will be on the New York Times bestsellers list. When it does, I'm gonna come back and say thank you, Robert, and we'll talk more about helping your audience and your listeners and your viewers to grow their wealth. And folk, whatever one of those 5 money mindsets you find yourself in, let's help you get to a next level. And that's what we want to do. Rich is good, wealthy is better.com.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you soon, okay?
I thank you, Robert. God bless you. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy holiday.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you and your family. All right, folks, that was Dr. Willie Jolley. Rich is good, wealthy is better. You heard the offer. So get on over there and info@williejolly.com. The first 3, they're going to get a copy of his book, complimentary of the Marketing Pulpit Show. Thank you again. And once again, we're going to say happy holidays to everybody. We probably won't be back. Well, I know we won't be back next week, and we'll see about the week after that. In the meantime, go out here, be safe, and show somebody some love this Christmas season. Extend grace. Let's not be showy. Let's understand that some people may not have it. Some people are going through a tough time. So anything we can do to make their loads lighter and their seasons brighter, let's do that. We're going to end once again on a song by the Gatewood Brothers, as we did this seasonal classic, Silent Night. We did this, matter of fact, we did this song about 2 years ago down in North Carolina. We were honoring a woman who was a very pivotal part of the community, had a big heart, and they were doing a gala for her, and the Gatewood Brothers decided to go down and lend their support to this occasion. So on that note, we will see you on the next time here on the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. And until next time, have yourself a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a bright New Year.
What a joyous night. Just relax your mind.